Hello, YouTube. It is once again Nibbles from the Baron's Finest with Mr. Casey Crick again. And this time he's finally letting us show his face. So what do you have for us today, good sir?
Heretic ruler.
Alright, so what made you decide to play this? Because Shrine Point seems to be the rage nowadays.
I think it's faster and more consistent. You get a lot more plays out of it. I don't know. I just feel like I have the most explosive plays in the format right now.
Alright, I guess that's a fair enough explanation then.
Yep.
So let's get started with the deck list.
The Heretic engine. There's so many different combos, like wombo combos, some crazy stuff. I'm still coming up with new combos with these guys just because. And then I'm only playing 11 and not 12. I had to cut the Neb. He's not the best one to end off of anyway, so it's really Sue that you want to end off of. I can do the combos at the end of the video.
And Nebthet is the monster popper one, correct?
Yeah.
Like, I honestly agree with you personally. I don't really like triple Nebthet, but that's me.
It's because he's level 5. If he was level 6, I'd be running 12. Honestly.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
The only thing I can freaking do with him is Star Eater or Slamith. That's basically, I mean, it's optimal if I get max seed. If I don't have an OTK, I can stop on him, bringing out the Flame Veil, and then sink. So you only get a +1, and you can't really do much. So then I play the 4 rulers.
So these 4 bucks that everybody wanted dead.
Yep, they're still here. And then they're 1 searches each.
So my question to you is, why not multiples of the mythics, and why no Keyed Moto? Since Keyed Moto seems to be a really big thing. Also, why no second Flame Ball Guard?
Room's an issue in this deck. I like my spell lineup. I'm playing 25 monsters and 15 spells. No traps.
Whore! Please go away.
So, anyway, what was the question again? Sorry.
So, why? Okay, so I guess we'll go with this one by one. Why no Keyed Moto?
Keyed Moto doesn't allow me to OTK or wombo correctly. I prefer to bring out Dracosac. Keyed Moto restricts me to only dragons, and he says that I can't OTK you because didn't he take away my battle phase?
Well, that's if he goes to the grave, turning you special with his effect.
Right.
But wouldn't say in opening hand going Dragon Shrine, Flame Veil Guard, Keyed Moto set you up for a lot of plays?
I can do a lot more without it. I prefer my Heretic opener. See, a lot of Heretic players think Card Guard D and then pass with like Battle Fader, Trag, Gorse, whatever they're running hand trap wise, is the most optimal play. It's not, because if you turn 1 against a slow format deck, which is, you know, pretty much everything right now, anything that runs a lot of traps, if you get your board presence first, it's over. Because if you end up with Dracosac, Stardust Spark, and an Atum, I mean, what slow-paced deck is going to stop that? I mean, only really, I mean, there's not really too much to do to that. And then I have my own addition to the Wombo, which is double Stardust and Atum on turn 1. Sorry. You can turn 1 that. I mean, it's a hefty combo to do, but it's worth it. It's so good, especially if you have it.
I can imagine all that protection being good. Alright, so that's why for the no Keyed Moto, and I get that, but there are a few more questions about at least some of the other guys. So, why no second Flame Veil Guard? Because I know pretty much any Dragon Ruler build nowadays is playing double guard.
I'm playing rear end.
I guess that makes sense.
And since I'm playing White Stones as well, I already have the tuners. It's fine. It works just fine. I know this can't come. I mean, this one comes off of a Heretic, but it's still good. And rear end's just the shit. Everyone says that he's bad, but he's just enough damage to do with Silver's Cry, which I run 2 of. And then he's a part of my wombo combo, actually. He can make it to where I can Dracosac or I can sync with them. I mean, not every hand is optimal, but knowing the ins and outs of this deck, rear end's needed.
Alright, and for the last question, I guess, why only one of each mythic, considering that most of the Blue Eyes mythic ruler builds that are going around are playing 2 of each?
It's room. Water, I would almost... Like, this guy always gets hit with Valor or Phoenix Chain. I would almost rather play 2 water, because I always use Scrap Dragon or Redox to like pseudo bring them out. I don't even need to overlay with them. The major plays I make for Felgrand and Heliopolis are S-set with Blue Eyes. So I'm really thinking about cutting Tree to maybe for a 3rd neb. I don't know. I like the 1 water, but it is nice to have a search for Redox as well.
So if you were to cut the Tree, would you add a replacement target for Redox, or do you think you would just pass on that?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Right.
These 2 are so... After playing with it finally for a long time, yeah, they're the least favorite cards in my deck.
Okay.
Because they can they are what causes it to clog. So, anywho, then I play the 2 white stones with the 2 blue eyes,
Multi-blue eyes,
and the Rioran, and then the most broken, insane card ever. This thing allows me to make so many different plays. You overlay with it, you sync with it. It's too good. You can pitch it with Cards of Consonance and 0 attack. Like, they completely missed that. So
I guess my question about your vanilla choice, I mean, I understand, because I feel like it's a good choice, but why no Luster Dragon #2, since that's a win target for Tempest that you can just pitch and get search like your debris?
I needed a double of this. It actually helps me side. I built a bigger engine than normal. Like, well, Patrick Hoban used the 1 of this, the 1 of this, and then the 1 of a trade-in. And that became a standard for a little bit because of how flexible it was with Ravine and everything. So in the main deck, I wanted to do 2 of each, because when it comes to siding, then I can just side out the extra copies. So I go down the 2 Cards of Consonance, 1 trade-in, 1 stone, and 1 blue eyes for 4 guaranteed good cards against my opponent.
So in a way, it's kind of like how Undying Mail plays. Like, you choose to play the arguably ineffective cards to make it so siding is easier and you have an easy side-out engine.
Yes.
Okay.
But it still makes the deck very, very explosive. Running double blue eyes is very efficient, especially since I don't like using these cards all that much. A couple times at ARG's tourney, I sided out Tree, and it helped so much because the card... I only sided out 1 card against... it was a Fire Fist player I faced, but when I took out the Tree, I drew the 1 wing beat that I sided in against him, and so it was just overall better. I would rather cut it for another spell, probably. So, but anyway, yeah. So the mythic part of this deck is probably the weakest aspect of it, which is weird because it's usually the strongest. But Heretics Explode. This lineup's perfect. You can reuse these guys over and over and over. So, alrighty, that's my 25 monsters.
Big monster lineup.
Yep. And then the 3 searches.
Sirota.
Yep. 3, 2, and 1. So 6 draw cards. Apparently free my stratos.
You heard it here, people. Hashtag free my nigga Stratos. There you go. Hashtag free my nigga Stratos.
All right. Anyway, so 2 shrines broke.
So my question is, why not triple shrine, since that seems to be like the best card in this
You can
deck?
only activate 1 per turn.
But don't you want to open it though?
Well, not necessarily. Heretics are different than regular rulers. So, anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. I like to There is an issue of room in the deck, of course. I need those extra spots to side out. So.
And how many is this? Just total 40?
Yeah.
Would it be worth maybe adding the third in for a 40 first?
Oh no. No. You only have 5 targets anyway. I always double pitch with this. You never just want to just send one dragon roller. It's not worth it. You always want to extra deck thin and then play out of your graveyard. I mean, if someone abyssals you or something like that, then obviously you don't want to go for those plays. But when you have to do it, you have to do it. So anyway, and then I'm playing 2 Lance. I'm not playing MST or Wingbeat in the main. I chose Lance overall because it helps against Noble Knights, helps against, well, back row heavy decks. I play Sue, so Sue pops cards for me. As long as
your MST.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Prophecy shortly for a while played Breaker or Wisdom over MST.
Exactly.
But then they just bumped up to 1.
Yep. So double Lance, and then this card is amazing. It's Monster Reborn. I don't care what anyone says. It's Monster Reborn. It's quick play Monster Reborn. So it's not just Blue Eyes that you bring back. I rarely bring back Blue Eyes. It's always either Rioran or one of these 2. Synchro plays are epic. Overlay play is epic. Just too good.
So, I mean, I get the logic behind this, but why not call when it can revive your synchros?
Call the Haunted?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's slower, but I mean, we're in a slow format to where you could.
That's the point. I'm trying to be faster than anything else. I'm faster than the fast-paced decks, and I'm more explosive than most stall decks. Well, not stall decks. Stun decks can handle. So. Them worms. So.
Which you can see later, by the way, on this channel. So get ready to see that.
Oh, my extra deck's a little out of order. Anywho, I played both Stardust because yeah, they're both good. Then Scrap Dragon, Crimson Blader, these guys. I love this card. He's pretty much the MVP of the ARG tourney, which I got 11th at. Both losses were in time.
Is this the same build that you ran?
Yep.
Then? Okay.
Card for card. And then I only play Sai for the, like I said, Max C play on the bad Deb. I just don't like him. And then I only play 1 Atom, 1 Ptolemy, Gaia, Draco, and Big Eye. Sometimes I wish I have multiples, but this extra deck's pretty tight. You have to play certain cards to get out of things, so... same thing for Black Rose. I wish I could... This deck could Black Rose 300 times in a duel, I swear.
Yeah, I feel like it's weird that you're not running the second Black Rose.
I really wanted to play... I mean, my first build of it had 3.
Oh.
And I was maxing out on triple... Like, I was doing triple Lance, and I was maining double Wingbeat, just because I know how much back rows in the format. But, yeah, I cut a lot of that down. It was very bad against fast-paced decks. Then I play Heliopolis. He's my plus maker. And then Felgran, the almighty Felgran. He's awesome.
So
he helps in so many different matchups.
Alright, 2 questions about the extra, I guess.
Okay.
Why no Bouncer and why no Colossal Fighter?
Colossal Fighter's a good one. Again, it's just player preference on that. I felt like I had to play the cards that I have to play. So Fighter wasn't an option for me. And then Bouncer isn't better than Ptolemy for this build. And that's really the only room I had. So, like I said, I'd rather play 2 of Draco Sack or 2 Black Rose over any of those cards.
Alright.
But I just need the room that I have, so there's that. And then, yes, I did play Evil Swarm, but no, I did not draw them.
Did you lose that matchup, or did you win?
No, I won.
Alright.
Wingbeat puts in work, so
Would you send this in against Constellar?
No, because I run Smashing Ground.
But they might have the Omega Pleiades set up.
That would be terrible against me. I'd be able to get around it.
Alright,
Anyway.
I guess that's a fair enough argument then.
Well, Omega. I mean, Pleiades is okay. He's good. Then Double Veiler, Double DD Crow. Good cards.
Yeah.
Double MST. I don't run 3 because I run 4 back row hate cards.
This thing's pretty much a heavy storm.
Yep. The biggest thing about this is 2 and 2 is because I have that bigger draw engine that I cut 4 cards out of immediately. So I would never side these in together, really. I mean,
You would go like a mixed ratio of the two.
well, most of the time Wingbeat's better. It's only you really have to understand what the back row deck you're facing does. So like if it's Boujins, Wingbeat's good and MST's good, so take out lands. Because Sue's not gonna be. I mean, you're gonna be XYZing and synchroing more against that deck because you have to kill it pretty quickly. So you need more of actual destruction than protecting your own monster. However, against Mermail, obviously this card's nothing, so you want these two, and actually I'd probably take out the lances as well. So you would only want these for the spheres. Now, granted, if they sided in war traps, then that's what game 3's for.
So it's just kind of a
It's a toss-up on what they would do.
So it's pretty much for the 4 here, it's understand the opponent's deck and then work off of that.
Yeah.
Alright.
Then the Duh card. I never like it going first, but if you go second, it just allows you to kill off your dragons. You don't really care at that point. Knowing that this is in your deck, you can draw all your, you can do all your combos just knowing that this is there, and you don't have to worry. Because this is going to put back any of your cards that you would have otherwise cut off. So
it's pretty much refill your colors after.
Yeah, get your colors back. And then it's kind of my tech choice. Against slow-paced decks, you don't put this in, but against the fast-paced decks, they don't need MST against you, so you put in 2 DDR. So it's never a minus for you, and the later, if they have Battle Fader or Scarecrow, any of that, which Felgran gets around Scarecrow, so just try and push for him. But anyway, if they take out MST, your late game heretics that are useless to you, they're fodder. And then they become dragons for the colors. So, very good. But you never want to side it against a slow-paced deck because they fear Royal Decree like no other. This deck usually sides Royal Decree, so they'll keep in MSTs. So you want to keep them dead.
So why don't you side Decree in this?
Because I want to keep MST dead. I want you to feel like you're forced to keep in a dead card.
Guess that works.
So I never have to worry about MST. Don't ever set with this deck if you're gonna ever play it. Don't set Lance. Just always keep it in hand against slow-paced decks, because then their MSTs are completely dead. And once you do that, it's, you'll know, you'll get a feel. Once you get practice with this deck, you get a feel of what back row is real. The ones that they touch a lot are the ones that they're about to activate. The ones that they leave alone are the dead ones, or that they respond to attacks. It's just simple reading your opponent's body language.
Just FYI to all people who play ship-time back row deck out there, always hold up all your back row at once.
Yep.
That way the opponent can't really get the whole body language thing.
Yep. I have no idea what they were because. But anyway, like I said, the only changes I would make are the mythics, which is really weird. I know, but the heretics are better. I can just tell you that from experience. So.
Alright, so I guess that's it. That's all I got for you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.